Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome back here to MotorMouth Broadcasting, and welcome back to 204 League's Summer Heat Late Model Series. This is round number 9 of the season, coming to you today from New Smyrna Speedway. My name is Ron Mullins, and alongside me, working the comms and the cams, is Hamish Monroe. Well, Hamish, we are here at New Smyrna, a track that doesn't really see a whole lot of use nationally speaking when it comes to the world of stock car racing, but is the one that we are using here tonight. A half a mile in length, some rather high banks. It reminds me in an odd way of the first track that I got the opportunity to cover here with this series some nearly a month and a half ago at this point, in the form of the Nashville Fairground Speedway. Vaguely similar in the sense, I think we've just swapped out country music with alligators.
Well, we're not too far away from Daytona International Speedway, Ron. Of course, we're probably about 20 minutes on the road. So we look forward to the racing tonight. Not too far away from Daytona, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what these cars can do on the track, and I'm excited what we get at a New Smyrna. I mean, it's a track that looks like it was, the title was spelled by someone possibly with dyslexia, but we
Let that.
well, Smyrna doesn't really. Oh, maybe it's an Irish name. Maybe it's an Irish name of some kind, similar to Siobhan, Ron. But no, I mean, I'm excited for tonight. Short track action once again. We've not got long left on the schedule. Only a few rounds to go this season before we get to the end of course. 3 rounds after this evening. Irwindale next week, Iowa, and then we're back at Richmond for the final round of the season. Smyrna tonight, though. New Smyrna is going to be a big test for these drivers, I feel. I've never had the opportunity to call a race here. I know that you haven't either, Ron. So it's going to be a surprise to both of us of what's going to be the challenge. But looking at the layout and looking at some of this compound on the actual circuit surface here, Ron, we could be in for possibly a tyre game tonight. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe tyre wear will be a factor. Maybe it will be strategy that actually plays your game going forward as well. But I don't know. It's, we could be in for something special tonight, and it's an unknown, which kind of excites the loins a little bit, Ron.
Well, not touching that comment, but yeah, this track I have a feeling may end up being a bit of a cheese grater on the tires on these race cars. You can see even in these still shots that we have, the amount of marble buildup on the outside of some of these corners in this session that we're currently in the midst of. And there you can see it right there, full of what my dad always told me to call OPR, other people's rubber. This track, though, very porous. You can just see the amount of nooks and crannies around this track. Can be good for grip, not going to be very good for tire wear, so these racers may have to worry about that in this race that lies ahead. Gonna be a fun one, though, and as you said, venturing off into the unknown, and I have a feeling that we are in for quite a fun one here tonight. As you said there, Hamish, getting to the end of this season, and time flies when you're having fun here for the Summer Heat Late Model Series, and we're going to wrap it up right as summer ends and autumn begins, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. Hamish, you're getting to the end of winter down there, down under, is that correct?
Yes, we are moving into, well, we're just entered into spring, the start of September, so we're, looking for warmer weather. If you get hay fever, I feel bad for you because your eyes are about to water more than the end of the notebook. It's going to be a very tough time for those who have pollen issues for the next 3 months. And then, we head out to our summer, which gets quite warm, if I'm honest with you, Ron. We've had Christmases where it's been 40 degrees centigrade, which is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, it's good to have summer, but it's ironic. We enjoy our summer Christmases, but there are a lot of people that wish they could spend a cozy Christmas with snow surrounding them. So, we don't always get it our own way here, but I'm excited for what this season has to bring to the end of it. I mean, points have been kind of compressed a little bit over the last 2 weeks because of Riley Duncan not being here. It does mean that Scotty Ola is now the championship leader as well. So we'll see how these next, 3 rounds after tonight and tonight's round as well, how that's now going to shape up our championship going forward too. 7 cars on the road here tonight. We head into qualifying, Ron. We will mention the Dash for Cash position post-qualifying because we don't want to give anyone an advantage who may be watching along trying to get the inside scoop prior to setting their laps. And we don't want to try anyone to just to give them any advantage of trying to fix qualifying in any way.
Yeah, certainly do not want to do that. We have got that information on our back pocket to reveal once we get into this race that lies ahead. But right now, in this qualifying session, racing under the lights here in Florida, going to be a hot and humid night, as is often the case. The only thing that I think iRacing may need to improve on is just have swaths of mosquitoes buzzing around every single source of light around here. Then you'd be able to get the true Floridian experience. But right now, early on in this qualifying session, these drivers getting off in this session already, and let's see the double zero as he heads his way off into turn number 1 and 2. Rob Dotson behind the wheel of this machine, the Kernersville, North Carolinian driver, heading his way off down the backstretch into 3 and 4. What sort of lap time will he be able to set with a few cars already out there on the racetrack? Riley Duncan jumping up to the top. Ryan Kamba jumping right behind. Rob Dotson jumps immediately up though to 18.123, so carrying him down there for Dotson.
Yeah, Dotson sets that pace early on his first attempt in qualifying. You mentioned that 18:12. Smith's on an 18:17 at the moment. He's actually matched the time, at least for the hundredths, of Riley Duncan here this evening as well. Connor Smith, though, the new kid on the block, heads up into P2 in the 52 machine. Stephen Gary get to set a time, same as Scotty Oliver as well. The championship leader further back in the field is not on track just yet here in qualifying. They're tight times, they're fast times as well. Camber off the pace a little bit as Gary sets an 18:48, so maybe Camber will actually have a friend to run around with throughout this race. But that top 4 separated by barely anything here tonight, Ron. This could be an interesting game to be played at Smyrna. It could be an interesting race for these drivers as well.
It's certainly going to be intriguing. I think that's the right word to use here tonight, intriguing. As much as it's venturing off into the unknown for us, it's probably just as much of the case for these racers out there on the track, trying to get as much practice time in as they possibly can to acclimatize themselves to the conditions as well as they possibly can. Man, acclimatize, I'm really breaking out the thesaurus on tonight's show. Touching on the front row, though, of Dotson and Smith, 1/1000th of a second is a gap between them, and rather up and down in the sector times that they set as well. So the fact that it was only 1,000th at the line, really shocking stuff, as that was a pretty big hit into the wall for Scotty Oliver right at the end of his attempt in this qualifying session. Gonna smack it into the outside wall. Don't think running the Ross Chastain strategy is going to work out well here tonight, but qualifying ticking down. Just about everybody has gotten their lap times on the board, and looks like Dotson going to be the one that everybody is going to look to try and challenge tonight as he starts this race from the pole.
Yeah, starts out on pole position, of course, and you know, we'll see if that pays off for him. He's yet to get a maximum performance this season. He'd love to get a race win for himself out on circuit. So, you know, time will tell if he can pull that off. But, you know, with Smith and Oliver breathing down his neck, as well as Tyler Smith and Riley Duncan too, it's not going to be an easy night at the front of the field. Those 5 drivers separated by only 0.05 of a second in qualifying. So there's not going to be much time that, well, in fact, you know, Smith and Dotson were 1,000th of a second. Then it's 1/10 back to Oliver, 1/10 back to Smith, and then not even a 10th back to Duncan as well. It's incredibly close and incredibly tight on the timesheets. And, well, if they can run those laps throughout the race, Ron, we're going to have a tightly contested 5-way battle at the front of the field for this race win.
Yeah, that we certainly will. It is going to be close quarters stuff just based off what we've seen in qualifying. These racers may get a little bit physical here as well. You got some banking to help you out, and with this track getting so rubbered in the sessions that we've already had, I wonder what sort of experimentation these racers may try and have in this race that is lying ahead. And of course, as per usual here in the 204 League Summer Heat Late Model Series, 100 laps is this race that lies ahead. 35% fuel, 2 drop rounds for these racers all throughout the season. And with only 4 rounds left to go after this, actually, no, 3 rounds left to go after this. Time flies when you're having fun. These racers will have to think about how their season's been up to this point and how they can maximize their end to it in this championship to potentially get it done here in 2025. But qualifying now officially in a rearview mirror, we can look ahead into this race that lies ahead. And it's going to be Rob Dodson starting this race from the pole position. Starting alongside in P2 will be Connor Smith. In P3 will be Scotty Oliver. P4 Tyler Smith. Riley Duncan, the Canadian, the lone Canadian in this field, will start this race in P5. Ryan Kamba will start in 6th. Stephen Gary will round out your 7 starters here in this race, immediately defaulting back to the karting terminology for me. But there they are, already lined up on the pit lane. As you can see, mini Smyrna there on the infield off through turns number 1 and 2. Not the biggest field in the world, but 7 starters strong. And Hamish, will give us the update on how things are looking for the Dash for Cash here tonight?
Yeah, it was the wheel spin shot us out P2 for the Dash for Cash tonight. So Connor Smith will be racing for the Dash for Cash. But that top 5 so tight, though, I don't think it's actually going to be as easy for him to hold off 3 cars behind him. He has to finish in the top 3 to solidify the Dash for Cash for himself here this evening. So it'll be interesting, and time will tell if Connor can remain up there. He's got good pace. He showed he had good pace last week, Ron. It'll be interesting to see if he can come away not only with a podium tonight, possibly a race win, and possibly the Dash for Cash as well.
Yeah, gotta wonder if we're going to have another cash in for that Dash for Cash. We saw it last time out. Riley Duncan double dipping, got the win, got the Dash for Cash. Let's see if it'll happen again here at New Smyrna for just the latest round of this championship. Gang, it's a crunch time here for 2025 as we wait for that green flag to come out, which it has now, and the drivers are on their way off and down that start finish straightaway into turn number 1. That's gonna be a dream start for Rob Dodson. Looking right behind the 52 and the 18, that's Connor Smith and Scotty Oliver duking it out for the final podium spot as it stands right now. Smith still holding on to that outside, wants to try to hold off the challenge from Oliver and also maybe give that 00 Dodson a bit of a headache early on.
He's starting to apply the pressure early here, of course. Very early days in this race. We're only into lap 2 of 100, so they'll try and get into their rhythm, try and save some tyres and save some fuel where they can as well. This race, Ron, I feel is going to be one in pit lane. It's going to be one with your strategy and how well you strategize around coming through pit lane and where you may end up in the field when you exit. Because you don't want to end up getting caught in moments. You don't want to get caught where you come in too early, use the fresh tyres too fast, burn them up, and then have horrible tyres at the end of the race. So strategy is going to be key for these drivers tonight if they wish to take advantage, and it's going to be key if they wish to maximise on their pace as well.
So let's see who is going to crack that code first, figure out what's the best strategy, what's the best path forward to get the job done here at New Smyrna tonight. 5 laps into this 100-lap long race, we already are. Dodson holds on to the front over Smith. Oliver rounding out the top 3, but these front 2 really beginning to break away. You can see that gap growing between Connor Smith and Scotty Oliver. Everything behind, though, really going to get dicey. I think these racers at this point in time find themselves at the point where they're like, you know what, let's just take it easy for now. Let's get a little bit further along in this race, get a good idea as to how our cars are handling, how everybody else is feeling about this race, then we can start to get physical. I think we're already starting to see that a little bit farther behind that fight for 4th between Smith and Duncan.
Yeah, they're already starting to get heated here. Oliver, Smith, they're trying to work together to hold off Riley Duncan as best they can, but as they start to defend, it is allowing Donaldson and Smith to run away from them. I'm very, very impressed tonight, Ron, by Rob Donaldson's pace. Duncan wants an inside run here on the 25. Can't quite get the momentum through 3 and 4, and now he has to continue on. So it's between 1 and 2. Confused there, the point track we're at. But I'm very impressed tonight by the pace of Donaldson. He must, it seems he gels well with New Smyrna. It's paying off for him in dividends right now. He's leading the race, of course, but he has got Connor Smith hot on his heels. Scotty Oliver, Tyler Smith, well, he'll just be hoping to defeat Riley Duncan tonight to continue to gain points and gain back some points that he would have lost last week when Duncan took that win. He can give up a couple to Rob. He can afford to, and Smith hasn't been here all season, so he can afford to give up some up to Smith as well. So for Oliver, he's sitting pretty at the moment, but again, we're only a tenth of the way through the race, plenty of racing left to go, plenty of opportunity for cars to make mistakes, and opportunity for yellow flags to be thrown as well.
And we have to bring that up as well. The amount of marbles built up on the outside. One small little trip up from these racers, and it could be a hit into that outside one. Maybe a spin in the process that could bring a yellow out. Just want to touch on the storyline you mentioned a couple of moments ago. Hamish, they hold off on that point. Now here we go. Look at the 52 of Connor Smith. Thought about going for it as they headed their way off through 1 and 2. He is closing up that gap to himself in the 00 of Dotson. He's now drawing alongside down the start-finish straightaway, completing another lap, starting a new one down the inside to 1 and 2. The 52 of Smith is going to go. Dotson just holding on to that momentum, coming at these turns to pull back alongside, heading down these straightaways. Such a high banked racetrack this compared to some of the other ones that we've been at thus far this season, but there's nothing that Dotson could do. Through into the race lead goes Connor Smith, the Dash for Cash racer, looking to impress here, and in all that side-by-side battling, you look right behind it. Scotty Oliver, he has reeled in those racers in a snap of the fingers, a blink of an eye. He's right there now in third, right there to pounce in case those drivers have any trip up right in front. But to touch on Scotty Oliver and the championship situation, a big championship gap is like having a spare parachute whenever you go skydiving. It's good insurance to have one, but in an ideal world, you won't want to use it.
Well, that there has just, well, it's shown to me, Ron, that maybe that's a little bit of inexperience for Rob not running at the very front of the field. Maybe he's burnt the tyres off a little bit too much, having to defend against Connor, because now he's under assault as well from Scotty Oliver. And the lack of grip on that 00 car, you wouldn't think he would have burnt those tyres off too much by now. So maybe he's overheated them a little bit, and that's starting to cause a lack of grip. But you know, the most impressive drivers on these short tracks, and even in these cars as well, we've seen it all season on this, those that can not only maintain the tyre wear, but they can also maintain their lap times as well. Connor's done that very well. Scotty Oliver does that well. Tyler does that well. Riley does that well. Rob, a little bit unproven. And at the moment, he's struggling to keep this car at pace once the tyres are gone over the edge a little bit.
I think these tires are going to be the ultimate determining factor into how these racers are going to do. If you can keep the tires on your side, that's all well and good. If you can't do that, on the other hand, you're really going to be in for a tough night here at New Smyrna. I think the best way I can describe it is you would never want your bodyguard to go rogue on you. That's basically what would happen in case these racers have any issues with their tires. If they do, they're going to start to drop down like an anvil push out of a helicopter. There's no question or shadow of a doubt about that. 20 laps in to this 100 lap long race. I have a feeling these racers already have a good idea as to how their cars are driving and how they feel about their chances here tonight. Lots that you can learn in the span of 21 laps, despite the fact it's just a tick over 10 miles. That's so a decent amount of racing. These racers already settling into a groove, knowing what they've got, and knowing what they've got to do as well here this evening.
Now, as we settled into this groove, Ron, what do you think is maybe settling into the minds of, you know, maybe the likes of Rob Donaldson and then now Tyler Smith? So Rob's already dropped 2 spots at the start of this race, so that'll be affecting him mentally a little bit. Tyler, though, will be hoping to get past him as soon as possible so he can stay with his teammate, because we can already see this gap starting to build, and the more it builds and the more pressure he gets put under by Riley Duncan in behind him, the quicker he has to move. So how are both of these drivers in the 00 and the 25 juggling the mentality as Smith sends it up the inside?
As these racers continue to duke it out with the 25 on the inside of the 00, once again diving it off into turn number 1 and 2, holding on to that inside line, keeping right nice and tucked in to that yellow line. We gotta wonder who's gonna be able to pounce in this battle first. Will that 25 get that move done on the 00? Yes, he will. And now here comes the number 97 right there to pounce as well. Booking it down the inside is Riley Duncan. He jumps up into another spot. There's been been a terrible series of events for Rob Dodson. Ever since he lost that lead, that car has dropped down big time. But to touch on the question that he asked me a couple of moments ago, Hamish, before this battling really starts to get intense, at this point, these racers, and I've said this a lot throughout the season, I think there's a lot of truth said in it, despite the fact that it's 100 laps. It's just long enough for us to have some pit stops to worry about, but not so long that these racers can let their minds wander. These racers basically, oh, that's a big wall tap from Duncan coming out of turn number 2. These racers essentially, with all the stuff they have to worry about, from the on-track battling to the strategy, the opportunity to have yellows, and just the way this racetrack is keeping these drivers on their toes in these somewhat difficult to manage cars at certain points in time, it's basically like juggling chainsaws. One wrong move and you can end up missing an arm.
Right, you drop the ball and all of a sudden you can put your back out trying to pick it back up again. And that's what's happened to Rob Dodson. I mean, 4 spots dropped now in this race down to P5. I did notice as well, when Tyler came past him, he ran it a little bit wide and actually bumped the wall just before the start-finish line. That then gave the opportunity to Duncan to tuck up past him at 1-2 and get that job done to head into P4 in this race. Connor Smith, though, leads the way at the moment. 1.2 seconds is the gap back to Scotty Oliver. We're going to take this quick opportunity to hear some messages from the series sponsors as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the 204 League presents the Summer Heat Late Model Stock Series live on MotorMouth Broadcasting.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
204 League presents Tuesday, Late Model Stocks Under the Lights. Proudly presented by MotorMouth Broadcasting. From multiple countries compete nose to tail on America's most legendary short track. Tracks like IRP, Bristol, Myrtle Beach, and more. Come see some of the best drivers on iRacing battle door to door. Names like Scotty Oliver, Nolan Perry, Riley Duncan, and Tyler Smith, along with up-and-coming drivers like Stephen Gary, Hugh Escobar, Marcus De La Garza, and Ryan Camba. For the best late model stock action on iRacing, come visit MotorMouth Broadcasting on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tuesday night, it's 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Only on the 204 League, where the big ones run. From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or network hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here. In logistics, precision isn't a goal, it's the expectation. At Aspire Crossdock, we exceed it every day. Serving Fortune 50 companies from our strategic hubs in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Aspire Crossdock delivers fast, reliable, and fully customizable logistics solutions, tailored to your supply chain. From expedited cross-dock to end-to-end third-party logistics, we're not just a 3PL provider. We're your competitive edge. Driven by the latest technology and guided by a relentless focus on service, Aspire Crossdock brings you unmatched speed, visibility, and accuracy in every single shipment. Innovation, execution, satisfaction. Aspire Crosstalk isn't just keeping up, we are setting the pace. Find us on aspirecompanies.biz. Aspire Crosstalk, where logistics meets success. Tired of bland shirts and cookie-cutter designs? Step up your game with top-tier design and apparel. Your one-stop shop for premium custom apparel. Whether you're ripping your brand, your team, or your side hustle, we've got you covered. From direct-to-garment printing to high-quality heat-press transfer, top-tier delivers sharp, vibrant prints that last wash after wash. Want to press it yourself? No problem. We also print custom transfers you can apply at home or in your shop with any t-shirt heat-press transfer. Fast turnaround, maximum impact. When it comes to custom gear, don't settle for average. Go top tier. Top tier design and apparel. Print like you mean it. From the press to your chest. That's top tier.
Welcome back into the 204 League presents the Summer Heat Late Model Stock Series. Hamish Runner, Ron Mons here with you on MotorMouth Broadcasting. It's battle for the lead now as Scotty Oliver and Connor Smith go at it for the race lead. Oliver, the championship leader, wants to run it round the outside of the 52 car. Can he get the job done, or has the 52 lost those tyres a little bit too much? We're lap 46 of 100 at the moment. Big shout out to the 204 League sponsors, of course, Ride Weights, as well as Creative Castle, too, and as well as Top Tier as well, getting involved in the series. We've got a lot of support coming in from those sponsors, of course. Ron, they help us with the Dash for Cash position. Throughout the season, and Connor tonight, who's in the Dash for Cash, well, he's still in position to win that as we get up to lap 48 of 100 now as well. It's absolutely fantastic to see, as well as Aspire X Stock as well, one of the sponsors of the series too, as well the 204 League as well. But Ron, we're right at the halfway point of the race, lap 50 about to get underway. And at the moment, it's Scotty Oliver in the lead, Smith, that being Connor in P2, Tyler Smith P3, Rob Donaldson, Stephen Gay, Ryan Camber, and Riley Duncan has been into pit lane on lap 44, so he'll have to, I wouldn't say he'd have to do another, so actually no, he might be out. He's out. Riley Duncan's out. Right. I just clicked on him
I was
to
just
check
gonna
on him,
say.
and he's out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I looked into the information on our live timing screen, and he was shown as having spent 46 seconds down in pit lane. I was thinking, did he give his... Yeah, I was about to say, did he give his pit crew some sort of like brandy or something of the sorts? No, he is out of it. Riley Duncan, the one Canadian in this field and the winner last time out, he's now done for in this race. That's a big shame for him. He was running pretty all right a little bit earlier on, but things clearly coming down to nuts. So now 6 cars left out there on the racetrack as we're now officially past that halfway mark. 52 laps now into this 100 lap long race with Scotty Oliver still up at the front. Smith and Smith completing your top 5 right now. That's Connor Smith, the Dash for Cash racer, and Tyler Smith completing your top 3, I should say. You have to add Dotson and Gary into the mix to complete your top 5 as we look now at a potential Smith duking it out. Yeah, here we go. That's a 25 and Tyler Smith on the inside of Connor Smith in the 52 car. Who's going to win out in this battle? Let's just wait and see. A bit of a wiggle on a sideways snap down to turn number 1 from Tyler Smith, but he gets that move done, clears him out of turn number 2.
I would assume they're brothers, Ron. Not only because of the namesake, but because Tyler is number 25 and Connor is number 52. So I would say they're either brothers or cousins or father and son. Is what I would argue is the combination there of the Smiths. I could be completely wrong, and it could be a complete coincidence that they have the reverse numbers with the same last names, but that's the claim I'm going to make, and that's the belief I'm going to be sitting with. So could it be sibling rivalry at the moment between Tyler and Connor as they battle for the podium positions? Now, Connor's not out of the woods yet. He's still P3. He's still in a Dash for Cash position. You know, his tyres are starting to get worn quite heavily. You know, he pushed very, very hard at the early point of this race. If he can go maybe another, I don't know, 7 laps or so. Oh, he's actually going to come in right now because his tyres are gone. So Connor Smith into pit lane. We'll see how this plays out for him. Let's see now how Rob Donaldson's sides are going to fare, Ron, because we saw him drop positions early after he overheated the tyres and he dropped spots. So all of a sudden now, Dash for Cash doesn't seem as likely to pay off because Rob's a little bit better at keeping those tyres in check and keeping himself in the zone as well. So this could still pay off for Rob here if he can keep going long.
You know, the immediate phrase that popped into my head as you said that, Hamish, was it's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to pace yourself in an event like this. Pace both yourself as a driver to make sure you don't go in too far over your head and really start to push it. Also got to pace your car, as that's the 00 of Dotson making that call to come down pit lane. He's joined in the pits right now by the number 25 of Smith. So Tyler Smith joining his like name driver. I'm not sure what the relation is between there. If they are family members, we can call it a family feud if those two get back together on the racetrack and really begin to duke it out. But the pit stop's now firmly underway past the halfway mark of this race, and now only time will tell to see when Scotty Oliver makes that call to come into the pits. Keep an eye on that number 18 car up at the front of the field. We can really name on several occasions, Hamish, times where Scotty Oliver looked like he had a race in a bag. Then the pit stops came and things went from pretty darn good to absolute catastrophe for him in the span of just a couple of moments.
Yeah, we've got to remember as well, too, that these cars are fuel limited as well, so they can only go so far prior to needing their stop, too. So, you know, trying to pace yourself up to 60 laps, well, that's a great strategy to have and how it can play out in your benefit. Now, Oliver going slightly longer has hurt him just a little bit here to Tyler because he's obviously dropped a little bit of lap pace to go that extra lap longer. So how we sit at the moment is Tyler Smith, Scotty Oliver look to be on the road to a 1-2 finish once again. We're lap 63, 100. Connor Smith is in behind them at the moment in P3. He's got 7.5 seconds back to Rob Donaldson. So he's not looking likely to drop the Dash for Cash position here tonight, but a mistake could cost him here as well. Stephen Gary, Ryan Camber make up the last of our runners rather than gets out of this race after getting a stop hole penalty in pit lane. He then called it quits after that. And there's not long, you know, this race has really flown by, Ron. It hasn't really dragged by at all. We've had some great battles on track. I doubt we're going to see Tyler and Scotty battle too hard. They're going to try and work together to keep their lead and then maybe do an old switcheroo later on in the race to give Scotty the race win. But the only other close battle we really have on track is this one here, Ryan Camber and Stephen Gary. Now, there's not many potatoes on offer for this one. It's at the back of the field, but a little bit of pride can be worth so much when you're battling on a circuit, especially in a short field, because any positions you can get can be a saving grace, not just for your championship, but for your ego as well.
And, you know, it may not be the most amount of potatoes in the world that these two are squabbling out for, but if you got one potato, you can mix that with a half a can of Spam and have a pretty good lunch for yourself. I'm not just saying that because I had that about a week ago. But looking at all these racers out there on the racetrack, still trying to battle both themselves and the track itself. We talked about a lot in the practice and qualifying session earlier on in this broadcast, and even a little bit earlier on in this race. The fact this race was truly venturing off into the unknown for these competitors. And here's a lot of truth said in justice. Here we go. The duking at the front between Smith and Oliver. Who's going to win out in this battle? That was Oliver trying to dive down the inside of Tyler Smith off into the turn. Close quarter stuff at the front of this field. These racers now starting to give each other some headaches.
Lap 69, nice of 100 here as Scotty Oliver continues to put some pressure on his teammate Tyler Smith. Just wants them to continue to run at a solid pace here. We can see the sort of banking that's here at New Smyrna. The last few weeks, Ron, we haven't actually had a massive amount of banking. We've had elevation change over the last few tracks that we've been racing at. So it's good to get back into a bit of a bare bones, you know, oval with some banking on it in the corners. Nice flat back straight and main straight as well. And it really is just classic oval racing and classic stock car racing as well. When you come to a track like this, you've got to try and maximise your pace and maximise your run around these laps.
trying to figure out the way to optimize everything about a race like this. It may not seem like the longest race in the world, and that's because it isn't, but it's just long enough whereby if you have those little foibles, if you have those little trip ups, it can really cost you at the end of one of these events. Now 73 laps in to this 100 lap long race, and these two still giving us a heck of a battle to talk about at the front of this field. As Tyler Smith leading over Scotty Oliver, looking all throughout this field. This is the closest battle we've got out there on the racetrack right now, and it is tight between these competitors. You look at Scotty Oliver, he has gotten denied so many times a trip to go into victory lane this season. He avoided it like the plague, accidentally avoiding it like the plague. I think he wants to change that trend here tonight. Scotty Oliver, hungry for a victory here at New Smyrna, and I think if he plays his cards right, he may be able to get it done.
Well, the Cadillacs have been up and down this season. They've had really, really good pace. They have been consistent as well, but carrying momentum throughout the season has been a struggle. Oliver may lead the championship as the teammates nearly bang doors through turn 4. But Oliver's sick of sitting behind his teammate Tyler here, and now they're about to get this battle going with 25 to go here, Ron. Not long left in this race. Smith holds on to the race lead. We'll hang out with this battle as we hear the quick message from the series sponsors as well. Don't go anywhere. We're within the final 25 laps of the Summer Heat Series, brought to you by 204 League. Return very, very soon after these short messages.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Rideways, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Rideways helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Rideways also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Rideways keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Rideways, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
204 League presents Tuesday, late model stocks under the lights. Proudly presented by MotorMouth Broadcasting. From multiple countries compete nose to tail on America's most legendary short track. Tracks like IRP, Bristol, Myrtle Beach, and more. Come see some of the best drivers on iRacing battle door to door. Names like Scotty Oliver, Nolan Perry, Riley Duncan, and Tyler Smith, along with up-and-coming drivers like Stephen Gary, Hugh Escobar, Marcus De La Garza, and Ryan Camba. For the best late model stock action on iRacing, come visit MotorMouth Broadcasting on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tuesday nights, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Only on the 204 League, where the big ones run. From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or network hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle, where the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle, quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here. In logistics, precision isn't a goal, it's the expectation. At Aspire Crossdock, we exceed it every day. Serving Fortune 50 companies from our strategic hubs in Greensboro, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Aspire Crossdock delivers fast, reliable, and fully customizable logistics solutions, tailored to your supply chain. From expedited cross-dock to end-to-end third-party logistics, we're not just a 3PL provider. We're your competitive edge. Driven by the latest technology and guided by a relentless focus on service, Aspire Crossdock brings you unmatched speed, visibility, and accuracy in every single shipment. Innovation, execution, satisfaction. Aspire Crossstock isn't just keeping up, we are setting the pace. Find us on aspirecompany.biz. Aspire Crossstock, where logistics meets success. Tired of bland shirts and cookie-cutter designs? Step up your game with top-tier design and apparel. Your one-stop shop for premium custom apparel. Whether you're ripping your brand, your team, or your side hustle, we've got you covered. From direct-to-garment printing to high-quality heat press transfers, Top Tier delivers sharp, vibrant prints that last wash after wash. Want to press it yourself? No problem. We also print custom transfers you can apply at home or in your shop with any t-shirt heat press transfer. Fast turnaround, maximum impact. When it comes to custom gear, don't settle for average. Go Top Tier. Top Tier design and apparel. Print like you mean it. From the press to your chest. That's Top Tier.
Welcome back into the 204 League presents the Summer Heat Series with the late model stocks here at New Smyrna. We're within 10 laps to the end. Ron Mons and Hamish Munro here with you, bringing all the action through sight and sound on MotorMouth Broadcasting. If you're joining us for the first time or you've been here for a little while, and you're just joining us here tonight as well, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe, the bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on the channel. Ron, 8 laps to go here in this race at New Smyrna. It looks to be wrapped up for Tyler Smith, but Scotty Oliver could start coming back at him now. Put the pressure on him here for the race when as they approach lap traffic in Ryan Campbell.
Yeah, with that lap traffic now officially out of the way as we see Tyler Smith and Scotty Oliver follow it off into the turn, and that's a bit of wall contact there for Campa as well, coming out of turn 2. But right now, Scotty Oliver just kind of looming in the rear view mirror of Tyler Smith like a scarecrow. He's just there for the sake of being there at the present moment, not really able to mount too much of a challenge to that driver, the number 25 car, but it's not necessarily letting him get away either. If there have been gains, they have been minuscule and incremental. We haven't really seen too big of a swing taken out of it. I think that may have been the biggest with Oliver getting a little bit of a wiggle on coming out of turn number 2, but Smith looking to get the job done here. Meanwhile, the other Smith, Connor Smith, who started this race in P2, our Dash for Cash racer, looking to potentially get the job done and jackpot that here tonight.
Yeah, it would mean that we've jackpotted it pretty much, I think it's the last 5 rounds or so, Ron, that Dash for Cash has jackpotted. Interesting if we went the whole way to the end of the season and jackpotted that as well, every single race. It would be an interesting turnaround if that were to happen. But with 4 to go, now 3 to go as they cross the line. We're not too far away from white flag here at New Smyrna. Tyler Smith and Scotty Oliver, well, these Cadillacs have been in dominant form in the last half of the season. And for Scotty, it'll be, retention of the series lead, but more importantly, important points gained over his major competitors this season as well.
Yeah, it'll be a big point swing. It'll be a big points day as we follow the number 25 of Tyler Smith heading his way down that back straightaway for the second to last time. Scotty Oliver still there to pounce in case there's any sort of trip up, and he is right there. Will he go for a move? Will he maybe try and put the bumper with a white flag in the air? One more lap of racing action, and Scotty Oliver trying to peak at the right time. He peaked and looked down into turn number 1 and 2 on the inside of Tyler Smith, but not able to get it done as they head their way off through 3 and 4. It's going to be the checkered flag for Tyler Smith. He wins it here at New Smyrna. Scotty Oliver right behind in P2, and there is your Dash for Cash winner, Connor Smith, getting the job done with a P3 result in the 52 car. He wins that Dash for Cash and the $20 that comes along with it. Rob Dotson going to come home right behind in P number 4, rounding out your top 5 at the end of a very well-executed race from all of these racers, as Stephen Gary in the 111 Ryan Campa, the rest of the cars running out there on the racetrack. But man, those racers, they kept it smooth. That was a rather fun, despite the fact that we were really venturing off into the unknown, they did a very good job keeping it clean.
Top effort from all involved. When we got underway, of course, it was Donaldson on the pole position. Have to argue, probably a disappointing result for him there, Ron, seeing as he didn't maximise on that pole position that he got in qualifying. and then having to drop down off the podium too. I don't think he can classify that there as maybe an acceptable result. Probably should have been at least a podium after starting on pole. But we have got Connor in the interview room to have a chat to him as well. So B-Well's just underway for us. We can drag him in and have a quick chat to P3 on the road tonight and the Dash for Cash winner as well. Connor, congratulations. $20 richer. You've now got a little Jackson bill coming into your pocket and a podium to suit as well. Congratulations. Now, first of all, we need to confirm or not. Are you related to Tyler Smith? Because otherwise, it's very ironic that you both have the same last name and reversed car numbers on track.
Yeah, I'm related to Tyler. I'm his little brother.
Ah.
I mean, he invited me to this league, and I just figured I'd come run with you and try and give you his little car count.
Well, you're the little brother. You're the little brother of Tyler. Was it often when you guys were growing up together that Big Brother would always often just better you at things, or have you gotten his number a couple of times as well?
Well, not necessarily. He wouldn't always better me, but he is a little bit better at saving on the game than I am. But we both have a car in real day life, real time, and we're going to both try and learn off of each other and just be fast together.
Well, I must say, Connor, you have got probably the. I need you to read bedtime stories with your accent, Connor. I must say, like it is the perfect form of Southern US with some racer in there as well. It's fantastic. How did you find the racing out there though at New Smyrna tonight?
Well, I mean, it's kind of similar to what I run in real life. I mean, we run at Newport Speedway in Newport, Tennessee, and it's just got a little bit longer straightaways and just a tad bit more banking. So I mean, it's kind of familiar to this. It just kind of helps out, and everything kind of comes together on the game when you actually do something like this in real life as well.
Well, I mean, you've put 2 and 2 together tonight. Started P2, finished on the podium still. Got the Dash for Cash as well. It's got to feel good to maximise on your results in qualifying and make up for it in the race as well. Even though it was a loss of 1 position, still a podium for yourself. Let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to, Connor. Any friends or family who may be watching, or any sponsors that may be on board with you too. And for myself and Ron and the rest of the MotorMouth Broadcasting crew, congratulations on your podium finish here at New Smyrna. And best of luck next week.
Oh, yes, sir. I want to thank y'all for putting everything on. And I just want to thank my brother Tyler and my buddy Scotty for just inviting me to this great league and just kind of getting everything going and trying to get the car count up. I really enjoy racing with all these guys. I mean, it's a good environment racing in here. It's all clean. Everybody's very nice and very friendly with you and very respectful and understanding. With if you're faster than them, they'll move up and get out of your way, or you do the same. I mean, it's just a great deal to run, and I'd like to see more cars join in with us and run with us. And I just want to thank them, my girlfriend, and I mean, y'all, of course, for putting the show on.
Well, thank you so much, Connor, for coming to have a quick chat to us post-race. Best of luck next week at Irwindale. We look forward to seeing how you do out on track in the coming weeks towards the end of the season, but also next week as well, and see if you can maybe get one up on your big brother and Tyler.
Oh yeah, we're going to try to.
Very good. Thanks, Connor.
Thank you.
Well, that confirms that for us, Ron, that they are brothers, and that Tyler is his older brother, and he took the win tonight as well for Tyler. So that that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out for them at family dinner in the future, or maybe on Thanksgiving weekend in the a couple of months' times. But next up, we have got P2 on the road here this evening in Scotty Oliver, who's about to have a quick chat and catch up with Ron Mawns.
And Scotty Oliver joining us here in the broadcast booth. Scotty, welcome in. P2 for you at the end of this race here at New Smyrna. How was it out there here tonight?
I mean, we had a pretty good piece there. Another deal in the pits. I don't really know what I'm doing wrong, but or maybe I need to pay the pit crew guys a little bit more or something. I come up just a little bit short there on the pit exit, and Tyler got out in front of me and never could find my way around him.
See, in terms of helping out the pit crew, there are two words I've got for you: energy drinks. I will not say a specific brand. I will say a specific brand when one of them gives us money here on MotorMouth Broadcasting. But that's been the joke I've run with for the longest time. Give a pit crew some energy drinks, and they'll be able to get you at lickety split. It would look like the pit stop scene from the movie Cars. But overall, a pretty solid night for you here, running up at the front all night long. How did you find this track? As we found it to be a bit of an unknown quantity heading off into this race. What are your thoughts on this facility here of New Smyrna?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the track raced pretty good there. Setup tonight was a little snug, so you had to be really careful there on the first long run and not burn up the right front. But I mean, I got or I fell back to third there, or I started third there on the start. I got in line, I rode. I ran down Rob, passed him, and then I ran down Connor there and passed him, and just kind of I put my head down and earned a consistent laps. And then, like I said, just the pit deal there, I wasn't quite fast enough to beat Tyler back out there. So just try to stay consistent.
And keeping consistent, keeping it clean up towards the front as well works out well for you tonight, walking away with a P2 finish. But looking ahead to next week here in this season, man, getting to the end of it. And next time out, we're going to be running at Irwindale on the outer layout. So going from Florida out there to California, I believe. So what are your thoughts heading to that place in 1 week's time?
I feel like that place is going to be another tire management deal there, and it's going to be a top lane dominant track. So it's going to kind of you can roll the middle there a little bit to make some passes, but it kind of goes back to like the dirt cars where there you almost got to like drive in hard and just hope there's a lane to slide up across the nose, and be clear. So I think it could get pretty interesting there.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting race for sure. That track's sadly gone the way of the Dodo Bird over recent seasons, but it'll nice to see the late models run out there for the third
Oh
to
yeah.
last round of this championship, no less. But Scotty, we'll let you give any thanks or shout outs before we let you go and celebrate this P2.
Oh yeah, I want to give a shout out to my wife and my daughter Oakley for allowing me to race here on Tuesday nights, and do thank Billy's Badass Barbecue, a top tier custom design and apparels. You guys for the awesome broadcast every week. I go back and watch them after the races, and y'all do an awesome job. I want to thank Ryan for giving us a place to race, and a shout out to Tyler on his win. Man, he drove a dang good race.
Yeah, and you drove a pretty good one as well, Scotty. Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us here in the broadcast booth, and looking forward to seeing you out there at Irwindale next time out.
Oh yeah, sounds good. We might be rolling out a new car for next week, so we'll see what happens.
Ooh, breaking away from the Cadillac, or got a new paint
Nah,
scheme rolling?
nah, just a new paint scheme. I might throw on something that might add us a little bit more speed up on the top and change it up a little bit.
It's gotta be Racing Stripes. It has to be Go Faster Racing Stripes.
That's right. That's right.
All righty, Scotty. Well done, P2. We'll see you next time out, Irwindale, man. Take
All
care.
right. Sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
And that right there was Scotty Oliver, our P2 finisher at the end of this race. And Hamish, I think we got time for one more interview, and we saved the best for last. Tyler Smith, our winner.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler had a great run throughout this race. Tyler, congratulations on the race win. Up 3 positions here tonight onto the podium, but also onto the top step as well. And you got one up on little brother throughout the piece too. He pipped you in qualifying, which might have hurt the ego a little bit, but when it came to the race, you had the advantage, I suppose, being able to save tyres a little bit more, carry the pace across a more consistent run throughout. Let us know though, how was your race for you here at New Smyrna, and how'd you find the circuit and getting settled into the car as well?
Yeah, it was a good race. I didn't have the fastest car, but I definitely had a consistent one. The little brother, he's quick. He's just got to learn to save a little more tires, but he's definitely a quick kid. I'm proud of him.
I gotta be honest with you, Tyler. Your brother sounds like a barbecue salesman.
Oh yeah, he's from deep in the sticks. He's got that accent on him. But yeah, it was a good race. I just had to save tire, and I knew that's what it was going to come down to: saving tire, and then somehow, some way, I was able to beat Scotty through the pits. So I don't know how that happened, but it was definitely a surprise to me coming around that corner, seeing Scotty just now coming out of the pits.
I think it might have come down to actually just maybe a slight undercut. Like you came in the lap prior to him, and he may have just gone one too long, because I don't know how it happens, but you get that lap in on fresh tyres as he's trying to traverse around, and you gain somewhat of an advantage. So it kind of worked out for you. Obviously in the end you ended up passing him and got the race win off of that too. Was it disappointing for you in the car to see Duncan get a stop hold and then obviously leave the race? Because that kind of took him out of your guys' battle, because that top 5 was separated by less than, I think it was less than a tenth of a second. And yourself and Riley actually had the exact same lap time in qualifying. You guys were both at a .173 in quali and matched the time together. So was it disappointing for you from a racing standpoint to see him drop out after a stop hold, or was it, not so doom and gloom, more so happy because it took him off your back and took the pressure off you as well?
Oh no, it was definitely disappointing to see him get that penalty and then go ahead and head on out. He was right on my bumper the whole first half, and then right towards the end I kind of started to pull away. I think I maybe saved a little more and just held him up just enough. But it was a good race all in all. Did suck to see him leave though.
Well, it was a solid performance from yourself, of course. Race win on the board, solid points. Good points for your teammate as well, who leads the championship. And with 3 rounds to go, that's going to pay massive dividends for him towards the end of this title race. Irwindale next week, how are you feeling heading into that one?
Oh man, I don't have many laps there at all. It's gonna be a pretty new experience for me. So I'm curious to see how it goes. From what I've heard, it's gonna be a tire game. We're gonna have to do about like we did tonight and save the tires and keep the tires underneath us so we can go the distance and keep the pace.
Well, it'll be an interesting race next week and an interesting next few weeks as well. Iowa and Richmond to come after Irwindale too. So it's going to be a strong run to the end of this season, and a tough run as well for you guys out on track. Tyler, let us know anyone, though, you want to give a shout-out to for myself and Ron and the rest of the MotorMouth crew as well. Congratulations on the race win, and thanks so much for coming and have a chat to us.
Yeah, I want to shout out my little brother for joining in with me and racing and teaching and learning. We both learn off each other and teach each other stuff every time we get on here together. So it's fun racing with him. And then I want to thank Scotty and Top Tier Custom Designs and Apparel for giving me a badass looking car, making me look good while I go around these circles. And then shout out to the old lady for sitting down and watching me every Tuesday. I really appreciate it. Oh, and shout out to y'all, because the broadcast has been badass. It's really good. I really enjoy going back and watching.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler. I appreciate you come and have a chat to us as well. Best luck next week out at Irwindale. We look forward to seeing how you go and look forward to seeing if you can go back-to-back here in the 204 League.
Oh, yeah, I hope so. Thank you, guys.
No worries. Thank you. Well, Ron, a good strategy from some drivers, one that cost others. Going that lap longer probably did cost Scotty Oliver in the end. A good undercut from Tyler Smith on him, found him in the race lead, and Scotty unable to get back past him as well. Maybe need some of that Billy's Badass Barbecue just to slick up the track a little bit to get Tyler out of his way. But apart from that, not much more that Scotty could do here tonight. Solid race though in the end, and the next few weeks at Irwindale, Iowa and Richmond are going to be very interesting towards the end of this season.
Oh, that they certainly will. I remember that race at Richmond a matter of about a month ago here on MotorMouth Broadcasting. That was pretty fun, and now that we're going to be going back there in a couple of weeks for the season finale, can certainly expect some sparks to fly there. Iowa, pretty much exactly based on Richmond Raceway. Irwindale going to be that outlier on the outer version of that track as well. A whole lot of stuff to look forward to as we wrap up this season here for 204 League Summer Heat Late Model Series here in 2025. Another fun one here at New Smyrna. And to all of you tuning into this broadcast, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And if you did, how about hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on any of the racing action. Got a lot of stuff to look forward to here on MotorMouth Broadcasting just about every single week, and feels like every single day to a certain point as well. Looking ahead in the days that lie ahead here, we of course have the action from High Point I2I with their Xfinity Championship and some more stuff to look forward forward to in the months and weeks that lie ahead here on MotorMouth Broadcasting. But as for this broadcast here, for round number 9 action from the 204 League Summer Heat Late Model Series here at New Smyrna, that will just about do it. So for myself, Ron Mons, and Hamish Monroe working the comms and the cams with me on tonight's broadcast, I say thank you all so very much for tuning into the show here on MotorMouth Broadcasting tonight, and we hope to see you all wherever it is in the not too distant future.